Hello, everyone. My name is Shy, or Shay, whichever you prefer, and I'll be your runner today. I also have my wonderful commentator with me as well, Herve Meyer. Herve, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Herve. Nice to be here today.
Welcome to Neopets, The Darkest Faerie, the greatest game ever made that nobody's ever heard of. It is a 3D action-adventure game based on the Neopets website. It was released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, and it has a grand plot with 4 acts, 2 protagonists, a huge open world, and all kinds of fabulous stuff that we're just gonna skip completely. And we start off as Tormund, who is a yellow loop species of Neopet, and his dream is to become a knight, but we're gonna be skipping that too. So time starts once we hit new game. So time will start in 3, 2, 1, start. I'm gonna hand it off to Herve.
All right. So we start off by immediately spinning the opening, quest here. And instead, we're going to grab a ledge off the side here and run straight out of bounds. So there's the ledge. And now we're going to head out of bounds here. And when we're out of bounds, there is a massive invisible floor here at y=0, and it's infinite and allows you to run wherever you want. And things don't really load properly, though, so we have to use upwarping to get around that issue. And upwarping is when there's something above or sometimes below you in the game that the game thinks you should be standing on. So it teleports you up or down, and we make use of the game's continuous open world design and the loading zones in particular to load different parts of the map in. So you can use upwarps to maintain being out of bounds while still getting to areas that we shouldn't normally be in. So we're going to do a series of out of bounds movements here and upwarping to load in our first main area of the game. So as you can see, we clipped up there, and we're immediately heading back down. That is just to trigger loading. Do another quick one over here. Back again. And as you can see on the horizon there, we have some darker green plants. That is where we are headed. It is an area called the Shadowglen Woods. And by doing this, we skip about 30 minutes of gameplay, including the tutorial. And the Shadowglen is like the first scary place we see in the game, but we're only going to be here for a yellow flower that lets us duplicate our money later. So here we are.
I'm
and now
already
that we're up. Oh, hello.
No, you first. You first. Go for it. Always you.
Just now that we're up this plane here, we can run underneath the Shadowglen and then pop out right on top of it exactly where we need to be. And so this is what the Shadowglen Woods normally looks like when you're inside of it instead of, running out of bounds. And we are just here for this golden flower right in the middle. And then we are going to completely leave the area here. And as we leave this area, there is a cutscene that normally blocks you from entering the Shadowglen Woods prematurely, like we just did, but jumping into the cutscene locks you at 1/3 of your normal gravity, and low gravity allows you to do coyote jumps. And coyote jumps are effectively a regular jump, but performed midair after you've run off a platform, and it gets you a little extra distance on your jump, so you can get to areas you normally wouldn't be able to. So there's the cutscene, and now we're locked at low gravity here. Allows us to do some special jump mechanics here. And now we just jump straight out of bounds again. And this is a useful out of bounds area because it completely avoids a large bridge parkour segment, getting around a broken bridge. And instead we can just run straight into Meridel, the Kingdom of Meridel. And here we jump into this leaf moat because that skips the text for it. And here, entering Meridel, we have the text skip glitch, which is by opening the consumables menu and pressing up and holding down square before entering unskippable dialogue. It results in all of the dialogue being skipped just at the speed of light, really fast here. And so, we're doing the part of this cutscene regular, but then once the text boxes come up, they just disappear within a split second.
Faster than a Taz, or so I've been told.
Mm-hmm. And these Mirkas here are going to hijack our package. We never actually picked this package up. We were supposed to get it from our dad and deliver it somewhere here in Meridel. But we need to do this activity here and chase these Mirkas down to retrieve it, because that opens up the shops so that we can actually buy the supplies we need for the speedrun.
You have time for a quick donation from your community?
Go for it.
Oh, sure. Always donations, please.
Oh, yes. We have some early love coming in for you here. We have $25 from Jaxler. So happy to see my favorite Sims 2 player on the big stage. We're so grateful to have you in our community, and we're so excited to see all your hard work.
Jaxler's going to make me cry.
Jax.
It's such a nice donation.
Jaxler's actually the reason I'm here.
After we skip this cutscene and finish crying, we return to this shop here to turn in the yellow flower from Glen that we picked up. And this is Angus in the potion shop. And he will give us 500 Neopoints for, giving him the flower. And in the game, the code for the text box gets loaded into memory, and at the end of it, it gave us the 500 Neopoints. And the Neopoints at the end of the text box don't get overwritten if you talk to another NPC that has a shorter text box. In this case, we're going to talk to someone called Ulfric. And the result of this is that every time you talk to him, it just prints money. It just gives you money. And we hold down X while we do it to make the text boxes scroll faster, because otherwise it won't work. But here is also an excellent place for donations, as we are literally printing money.
While you print money, we're also, printing money for our charity partner here, the National Women's Law Center. We have $5 from Osmorn. Whether it's watching Scooby-Doo or arguing about who has better taste in music, Shay has been nothing but amazing to be around, and I'm so happy to have discovered her through just looking at the Fatale schedule. Shay is so much fun, and she is so talented at her runs. To see her do what she does best here on the Fatale stage warms my heart. Good luck and have fun, Shay. Never stop being amazing. Less than 3, your friend Oz.
Oh, stop. I'm literally going to be sobbing by the end of this run.
I'll take it another.
Makeup so cool too.
Oh, thank you. I can't ruin it.
I'll put the donations in a different direction. We'll talk a little bit about that bid war incentive here, about what's your favorite food. I have good news for Jarmu and the rest of us raw lasagna lovers. Raw lasagna is currently in the lead with $70, which is fantastic. We have $25 from Gotcha Basta, which reads, "Let's go raw lasagna." We also have a $25 from Nox. My favorite food is definitely pork katsudon. That is a good choice. Oh, hilariously, there's another donation. We have raw lasagna, and then there's also raw lasagna. I don't know if you can catch the subtle difference. So those are both options for you, chat. And also, we're less than $200 away from 16K, so let's make that happen.
So here, now that we finally have enough money, we just bought a sword that we need. We're going to need a few items here in town. So it's a sword, a shield, 4 power potions, which increase our damage output, and as many speed potions as you can buy while still having enough money for a better sword later. And it's really nice that the game just gives you speed potions for speed running. Very useful. So what you just saw there too is a purposeful death sort of in the water, which allows you to get to places quicker because it pops you out wherever it thinks you should be, which in this case is closer to our goal, which is this potion shop here, yeah. So there's the speed potions that we'll need. All right, we're really cooking.
I accidentally bought one too many potions because I accidentally duped like one too many times. It's okay.
Not really.
I got a little bit too much money. Yeah, not really a problem. I just thought it was funny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Scrooge McDuck would just be like, "That's a normal day."
Yeah, exactly.
So after we bought all these supplies, we're heading to a place called the Abandoned Mines in Cogham, which is normally not accessible until Act 3 of the game, but we're going to glitch our way in there and save the mayor because the reward he gives us is absolutely crucial for a speed run. And so upcoming here in the future, we will have a flashing lights, warning. What you just saw was a water walk. So by timing a sword jump just right, you can avoid a death plane, and that water there would be a game over plane. And instead, we're going to fall out of bounds. And so as we fall out of bounds here, there's a lot of loading zone manipulation that needs to occur to get the abandoned mines to load in. And we have to be very careful to avoid upwarps that could result in game overs. And we're aiming for something we call the ice cream cone because it kind of looks like an ice cream cone on the map. And we're going to upwarp and go back down, head from there. And so right after the ice cream cone is the first potential flashing lights, because if the upwarp doesn't work, there will be a lot of flashing lights. So we'll watch out for that here.
We also got to watch out for the 16K because we're only $88 away from 16K. Let's go.
Oh, we're so close.
Let's get those donations in. All right,
Flashing
and here
lights
is
warning. We missed the first one, so we're good. Now we're headed towards the second flashing lights warning.
Yes, there is a second one here that will be pretty obvious when it's potentially coming up. So this is a interesting thing. Instead of going through the mines, recently we discovered a called Crystal Warp, and we upwarp onto the elevator shaft like we just did, jump back down for a moment, and when we're out of bounds, we start heading for a point in the game called 00, which for some reason contains a pretty pink crystal that teleports you straight to the boss fight in the abandoned mines. And if the crystal doesn't play nice, there will be a lot of flashing lights. So that's the warning. You'll actually see it sort of coming up on the horizon here. And if it does work, there will not be flashing lights, and we'll just head straight to the boss. You can sort of see it popping in on the horizon there. Yeah?
Yeah. Getting closer and closer.
And closer to 16K, $38 left.
Well, I guess. All right. Potential flashing
we did
lights.
It.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, so instead, we just traveled straight to the final boss of this area, which is the Ixie Chieftain, which is also coincidentally the easiest boss in the game. He's defeated by just 3-hit combos with shield canceling, and shield canceling is just pressing L1 right after a third sword swing, and it cancels the animation and lets you get, a little bit more DPS in. And using only early game equipment, we just beat a mid to late game boss here in about 2 seconds. But he's just that easy. That's not like a weird trick that we did or anything.
That's awesome.
Yep. So then after defeating the Ixie Chieftain, we've got to jump over a whole bunch of scary game over lava here to rescue the mayor. And just lava balls shooting everywhere. So here's the mayor. And he will eventually, when we get back down to the town, give us an item that we need for the rest of the run. All right. So now that the mayor has been rescued, we are just going to leave the mines, which starts out normal. This is how you would normally leave the mines. And we're going to grab a couple of Nova motes that will enhance our boss fights later. That is these motes here. And jumping into them avoids a scene where there's text that slows us down. And using that water warp, we go straight back into Cogham Village. We're going to meet up with our favorite character, Gigatad here.
Gigatad.
There's our
We're
boy.
only $23 away now. $23 to 16K. Let's go, chat. You're almost there.
So using the text skip glitch again here, we skip past all of them saying thank you, and most importantly, they give us this cloak. The Cloak of Heroes, they call it, but it really just sort of looks like a potato sack, as you'll see in a second. Yeah, there it is. There's our magical potato sack.
Yeah, buddy.
It's interesting because it's not really useful in regular gameplay. Just shows up very briefly as an item you need. But in speedrunning, it is one of the most useful things there is. It lets us do all these really interesting glitches, in tricks, I guess. So we just bought our enhanced sword that we'll need, which will make the next boss fight much easier. And now that we have the magical potato sack, we can do fancy tricks like Mega Jump, which is coming up here. Also, ledge flies and cloak dashes. So this Mega Jump, you put on the potato sack, and you immediately take it off by unsheathing the sword, which results in some lag. And you use that lag to buffer in a jump by pressing select and X at the same time. And then you do another jump in the pause menu to get the mega height. And that allows you to jump straight over an invisible wall there and get back into Meridel faster by, it essentially thinks you should be somewhere else by when you go into that water there.
We're also reaching mega height with our donations because we just reached the 16K milestone for the National Women's Law Center. Let's go,
Congrats.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Doing awesome.
That is amazing.
Yes. So we got back into Meridel, and now we're headed to an area called Illison's Glade. And Illison's Glade contains a boss we need to fight named Narfus. And we need to fight him because his death is what triggers the end of Act 1. But we can't get into Illison's Glade normally because we never actually became Messiah, so the area is locked off to us. So we have to take a bit of a backdoor route here. And so this consists of running into this wall in a tree with Mirka speed active and pause buffering until it just clips you straight through the wall and out of bounds. And then you can up warp through a few extra collisions here, cloak dash across a plane of death water, which is a cloak dash is similar to a mega jump, but instead you get a dash that can get you over large gaps without the extra height. And it's accomplished by putting the cloak on, taking it off, holding our run, pushing the left stick forward, and pressing X. And so now we use a set of fun up warps to get actually into the treetops where Narf is. But we don't want to be all the way at the very top of the tree yet here, because that's too far. We need to activate the Narfus fight by standing on a very particular point in the game here. So we have to run over to the elevator, which is at the start of the treetops, and that'll activate his fight. So here we are. This is where we need to be for a second. And then we jump over here to start a ledge fly, which is my favorite cloak trick. And this is an upwards ledge fly, so we grab a ledge for low gravity, swing the sword to get close to the edge, line up toward just right, hold down L2 and R1 if you don't have the Mirka speed. Then you uncloak, press the left stick forward, press X, and now we are quite really just flying. And we are going to fly all the way into the Narfus fight right here. You popped a potion of power there and equipped our supernova motes.
He's being a butt
There's
today.
Narfus. Yeah, he sometimes can be a little tricky. The goal here is to achieve an infinite sword glitch, which straight up melts him. But depending, it can be a little bit challenging to get. His hitboxes and AI are a little bit unusual compared to other bosses in the game.
There it goes.
Excellent.
You can do that from the start of the fight and melt him if you time it right. But sometimes he doesn't play nice.
No, it can be challenging. So after defeating Narfus, as we just did here, for some reason our cloak glitches don't work anymore. So we fix that by picking up the nearest item that has a text box associated with it, which happens to be a neg right here nearby in the neg patch. It's almost like the game developers did this on purpose for us.
Thanks, devs.
So here is the neg that we need. And now we have cloak glitches again, which is really good because right here we need to do another ledge fly, regular ledge fly, to get back out of bounds. And there we go, just takes us straight out of bounds again. Now that we're out of bounds, the next objective here is to get back into the castle through the back door, because we never actually became a squire, and so the front door is locked. And so we have to hit a whole bunch of different loading zones here in the correct order. And the only reason why this works is because the devs, once again, have kindly left a backdoor leftover trigger out of bounds that will allow us to finish the rest of this act.
Big shout out to the developers of this game. We are so grateful.
If I could jump in real quick, I gotta say, Chad is doing an amazing job at pushing us towards that play the song of the wielder incentive. That is for our next run, the Chicory, A Colorful Tale. We are currently sitting at $2,475 of the $3,000 needed. So we're less than $600 to go. So if met, Hollow will show off a rhythm, minigame, and cutscene at the top of Desert Mountain. And we have $50 from Adorable, which reads, a rhythm game, mini game in Chicory? Sign me up. Sign us up, chat. Let's go. Let's meet that incentive.
Right, and now we'll be back in the castle here in just a second.
We're in.
Yep, just like that. We warped straight up into the courtyard of the castle. And so now we're going to inside and jump on the bed, and we're going to do a ledge fly straight out of bounds again. And this is the only area in the game in terms of speed running where we're going to be looking down instead of up out of bounds. And we will be able to fall directly into a cutscene here, which is quite painful. And so now we are at the end of Act 1. This is the first sisters fight, but we want to skip it. So we're immediately going to mega jump over this plant in the corner of the room, and then speed clip through the wall to get into the next room. And the next room has a trigger for the final cutscene of this act and takes us straight into Act 2. So we could just skip all of that parkour and fighting and running away. And now we're in Act 2, which is Fairyland. And now we are playing as Roberta, which is Shy's favorite of the protagonists. She is the King of Brightvale's niece, and she's being pushed into diplomacy. But our homegirl here, she just wants to be a sorceress. And so this section of the run has the least amount of tricks, and it's mostly done as intended, just as quickly as possible. We need to build Roberta a wand and get her trained on how to use it, go to sleep, and we want to escape this area. So during this act, we don't have that cloak that we were using before or any speed potions because the inventories haven't carried over. So we have to work with just 2 speed potions that you can buy in Act 2 with the Neopoints that are provided to you. So right now we're just heading around, picking up wand supplies.
You can jump in for donations at any time,
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Another good time for donations.
We've got them coming in. We have $25 from Bayou Ba, which reads, good luck, sister. I'm so
That's
proud
my
of you. Keep up your hard work. Love you.
Oh,
Thank you for that donation. We also have a $5 donation from Dearest Cloud. You're amazing, Shay. So proud of you for doing this.
thank you, Cloud. Thank you, Brandon. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
We also have a $25 donation from Bats. Can we get a favorite Neopet donation train? Mine's the Norbu, but all answers besides Kiko are valid. I would love to see us make a Neopet pet donation train towards that Play the Song of the Wielder incentive. So when you are donating, be sure to select that incentive for the Chicory, A Colorful Tale run, which is coming up next. We want to see that rhythm mini game happen. Let's do it, chat. Keep those donations coming.
Here, we just skipped a ton of text that would take, quite frankly, forever to get through if we did not use that text skip glitch there. And so now we can buy the 2 Mirka speed potions that we'll use in this run. And we're going to pick up the last bit of our wand supplies here before talking to our magic mentor, Saradar. He's teaching us sorcery. There's the fairy dust here. I was wondering the other day, wouldn't all dust in Fairyland just be fairy dust? Like, why do we have to get it from a particular location? But
Looks like there's fairy dust in here.
So here we talk to Saradar, and he will teach us how to use magic and how to use our wand here. And we want to skip all this dialogue as quickly as possible because he talks a lot. And then we need to attack a spell book here. And this spell book, it doesn't always play nice. It likes to hide behind invisible walls. The tracking to try and hit it is very difficult. So sometimes it takes a while and sometimes it's fine. That was a pretty good one.
It really was. He was nice today. Shock.
Yeah. So now that we've done that, we need to pop a speed potion because we are racing to go to sleep now. We have to go to bed for the night. And so then after that, there will be a series of cutscenes. So
This is
once
also...
we do sleep... Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I was just going to say this might be a good time for donations too, unless you have more to add.
Yeah, just anytime we're running through the castle here is a pretty good time.
I am always ready for donations. We have $50 from Monkey Thief. Chicory is such a cute game, just like chat. Donating to get more time in the game and show off that Song of the Wielder. Let's get that incentive, chat. I'm looking at the numbers here. We're just under $500 away from meeting that Chicory A Colorful Tale incentive. And if we get that $500 for that incentive, we will be approaching the $17,000 mark for the National Women's Law Center. Let's go. Let's get your donations in. Let's try to meet that incentive by the end of this run, chat. I think we have about 20 minutes left, and I believe in you.
You've got time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we just skipped a variety of cutscenes that are telling you what's going on. Essentially, the Darkest Faerie is, doing some naughty stuff. And now we need to distract her. And we'll be distracting her by making a lot of noise in the clock tower. So when we're in the clock tower room, that is a flashing lights warning for the entire room for some reason.
Which we are approaching now, yeah.
Yes, that door right there, the whole room, potential flashing lights warning. And we'll let you know between a cutscene that likes to do it the most. So now we're in the clock tower here, and the goal is to make as much noise as possible. So we jump off the staircase because it's faster and there's no fall damage in this game, thank goodness. And now we do a little trick here where we just sort of like jiggle the stick while we push the thing forward, and it stops her pushing animation and lets you do it much faster. And so once we get the third weight on there might be another flashing lights.
It'll be this cutscene that has potential for the lights. Mm-hmm. There they are.
Yep, they're there. All right, now that the clock tower is up and running, we gotta go down, push a few other things in place.
Y'all just have the most support coming in for the two of you. It is honestly the most heartwarming thing to see ever. I have to read some of these. They're so lovely. We have $50 from Scott and Liz, which reads, donating in support of Herb. Love you, girl. Less than 3. And best of luck on the run, Shay.
Oh, thank you,
Scott and Liz.
We also have $25. Sorry.
I was just saying Scott was in my winning, and so was Liz.
That's so nice. Mm-hmm. I love it. It all comes full circle. We also have $25 from Mocha. I love you, Herv. I'm so proud of you. You're the coolest sister ever. Go, Shay. You're doing amazing, and it's always so fun to watch you kill it at speedrunning.
Oh, I love you, Mocha. You are all
Mocha.
Like my sisters now.
We are indeed the Darkest Faerie sisters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so now we've done running through the castle, and our way is blocked. We can't get out how we came in. And so we have to end in an area called the Endless Staircase to get to the end of Act 2. And the Endless Staircase isn't actually endless. It has a solution. It's a little bit of a puzzle. It's interesting because the game never actually tells you how to do it, except in this very tiny little book somewhere in this castle that you might never read. But the solution is rather simple. You just have to go up and down the, staircase as the Quiggles statues tell you. And the solution's always the same, so it's easy to get through. Another time for endless donations would be right about now here on the Endless Staircase.
I am getting those Neopet donations in, and I am so excited. We have $100 from K Duffels. I had to donate for the best Neopet, the Mirka. Loving all the runs so far and excited to get that Chicory incentive. I know we can do it. And I know you can do it, chat. We are about $375 away from meeting that incentive. Let's do it by the end of this run. I know you can get there, chat. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So that was the end of Act 2. And here we literally fell all the way from Fairyland, which is in the clouds, and landed here. And we reunited with Tor. So our inventories are combined and we have the cloak, which means you can use this cloak to get out of this mandatory fight area by jumping over this sort of invisible wall here that's blocking you from leaving the beach. And so once you're over it, you can use the text skip glitch to skip even more dialogue, and then jump into another text box for low gravity here, and then cloak dash over the broken bridge. And you definitely need the low gravity for this one.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right over the bridge there. So Act 3 is the longest in the game. It has tons of bosses to fight. There are lands you need to save. We're pretty much not going to do any of that. We're just going to head straight to the castle because the castle is, again, the end of the act. It has the Minion Gauntlet and the second Darkest Faerie Sisters fight. And the end of Act 3 takes place the same place as the end of Act 1. So we're going to do the same sort of series of movements to get back into the castle. we'll just be running for a bit if you've got some donations you want to talk about.
Yep, more Neopet donations are coming in. Chat right now. Donate me your favorite Neopet. We will read it here, and we will ride this train to our next incentive, which is for the Song of the Wielder rhythm minigame in Chicory: A Colorful Tale. We have $5 from Gamey Lee. Let's go, Shay. So proud of you. So excited to see you here and doing your thing for a great cause. Also, my favorite Neopet is Hissy.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Also, love you, Melee.
All right. So our goal here to get back to the castle, the thing that lets you know that you're getting close is the water here will disappear. And right when the water disappears, we cloak and uncloak to get our sight back, and we'll just in the castle. So that's how you know that you've run far enough to get to that point.
Spam
so
the
the water
button a little bit
disappeared
too
there.
much.
And now we are back in the castle where we were before. And we're going to downwards ledge fly, this time into a stairwell, which will put us out of bounds into a different area. That lets you get into the room with the Dark Fairy Sisters early, which is important because when we do that, their AI won't be active yet. And that allows us to cut their health to 0 before the actual fight starts. So they won't move. We can just hit them. It'll be fine. Yep, here they are right here. And they're not moving. So normally they'd be attacking you in a somewhat annoying fight when you're doing it normally.
Fun fact, when I showed my mom this trick, it blew her mind. She was so amazed. She was like, you can do that? I was like, yeah. Isn't it cool?
They'll just sit here. But because their AI isn't active, we can't actually kill them. Like, we can't end the fight. So we have to do a displacement angle ledge fly out of the room when we're done, which will put us back out of bounds. And then we're going to drop into the bounds again to do the minion gauntlet room, which is what actually activates their fight and their AI. And we'll just be equipping motes and potions to do it as much as possible. The displacement angle ledge fly there is quite difficult. It's a normal ledge fly, but instead you push the stick forward and down and right while pressing X. And because it's such a shallow angle, it's unforgiving. You have to do it just right. And so here's our first round of minions. We are trying to freeze all 3 at the same time for an easier fight because these guys are they're awful to fight. They're so annoying. They do stuff like that.
As you can tell.
So once these guys are done, the second round here, we want to just kind of attack these guys before they can do jump attacks. Because jump attacks in this back, they take a long time. So this is just 3 hit combos, shield canceling. Last one. And then the final round here will be artillery minions. And they like to jump around a lot. They're also kind of annoying, so we want to freeze them too. Otherwise, they'll almost just run away from you. It makes them challenging to fight.
It's very annoying.
Yep, there they go. They're just bouncing around everywhere.
There we go.
All right, so now we're going to quickly switch into all Nova motes to make the fight easier. And we are teleported into the sisters' fight. And we have to do a series of jump attacks around them because we're kind of low level. So we want to make sure that the sisters are dead without getting hit. And you'll hear their sort of dying sounds in the background as they lose all their health. All right, and now that was the end of Act 3, almost. So we're running into Fairyland. And first trick here is a fence clip. It's just a simple speed clip and an up warp, and it saves around 10 seconds. You just go straight to the castle instead of having to run around all the staircases. Now we're headed to the endless staircase again. An excellent place for endless donations once more.
Oh, absolutely. We have $5 from Neo Legend. Run the Neopet. Good luck, Shay. We also
Oh my
have...
goodness. Thank you, Dio.
We also have more Neopet favorite donations coming in right now. We are donating towards the National Women's Law Center and donating our favorite Neopets. We have $50 from the best Neopets are, and it reads Jub Jubs. Thank you for that donation. We are $300 away from that Play the Song of the Wielder incentive. That is for the rhythm minigame and cutscene at the top of Desert Mountain, which is coming up next. And I know we can get there. Let's try to get that $300 by the end of this run. But we don't have a lot of time left for this run. I think probably because Shay is so fast, I would say less than 10 minutes.
It's very fast, yeah. So here we've got to charge up a portal, and that's what we're doing here. We're doing this little minor puzzle there to get the lights all to match up, and then we jump right into this portal here into what is Act 4, which is Altador. Now, Act 4 is the final act of the game, and normally there's a whole bunch of different areas of the city you have to save. There's 4 different sections and like bosses, and we're not going to do any of that. We are just going to ledge fly to get out of bounds here, drop into an elevator, and this will teleport us pretty much straight to the final puzzle of the game. It skips the entire act.
And if you've ever played this game, you know how much it's skipping.
We're skipping the entire sewer shrine.
Oh my god, sewer shrine. Oh man. Along with like 3 other shrines. Whoops.
Yeah. Some easier than others. All right, and now here we are going to mega jump through another wall, which will land us straight in the final, quote, puzzle room.
Shout out to Deesh. He helped me make sure that trick is consistent.
And this is what we've been, collecting all those different motes for. We have to use the correct corresponding mote to light all of these fires. And when all of the fires are lit, it will activate a portal in the center here, which will teleport us back up to sort of where we started Act 4.
Gosh. I always get nervous and mess up on this section specifically because it's so much menuing.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of menu manipulation while also trying to hit it at the right angle so that you don't get that, pushback or whatever.
Yeah.
So we jump into this portal, and we'll immediately run backwards to get into a cutscene, and then run forwards to get into another cutscene and teleport us to the end of the game. And so here, this is the final fight. And it was a little bit rushed in development. So we start off by running towards the Darkest Faerie. She knocks us back and we run away. And she's going to shoot magic at us. And if we reflect it back at her, she's stunned for a minute so we can attack her with a 3-hit combo. And this process is repeated 3 times here. And once we've done it 3 times, the game will switch us to playing as Roberta.
Okay.
And yeah, once you are Roberta, all you gotta do is just attack. Just, with the wand, hit her down. And that was the final fight. That was the Faerie.
This is it?
And so now here, this is the outro. This is the end of the game. So this first cutscene is not the end time. So we'll go through this one and then immediately enter a second cutscene. And so when the second cutscene cuts to black here, it'll end time.
Yeah, that's time. It goes a bit fast, sorry.
It does go fast, yeah. I'm also doing a little bad.
That is so wonderful. And I've been saving this one for last. And of course, I'm going to let you do your shout outs, of course. But I've been saving this one here because we have $100 from Hervermeyer, which says, congrats, Shay. So I just want to say congrats. You did it.
Thank you, Her. Oh, thank all of you.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for the donations.
Yeah, thank all of you so much. If you enjoyed the run today and you want to see more of me, you can find me at Celestial Shy on Twitch and YouTube. You can find Herv at Hervermeyer on Twitch. You can go to speedrun.com and join our Neopets speedrun Discord. You don't have to be a speedrunner to join. Shout out to GDQ for giving me this amazing opportunity and letting me show off this amazing game. I'm so grateful. Shout out to her for commentary. Thank you to my husband, mom, brothers, and my cousin for putting up with my speedrun shenanigans. Shout out to the entire Neopets Discord. I wouldn't be here without them. And shout out to all of my amazing friends. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.